You must be touched out, must be tired of making mac and cheese. You must be tired of the endless laundry.
I want to give an example too that I think is really common. Say there's a guy, he's working 12-hour days, 10-hour days, and the wife is stay at home with the kids. That's the biggest resentful trap because your experiences are so different. You really have a hard time seeing the other one. At one point, you guys probably agreed on this life that it was the best thing. Like at one point, a couple gets married and they're both working and they have a baby or they have two kids. And so they're like, it's not worth it for childcare. You know, would you want to stay home? And the wife's like, I don't want to leave my kids anymore. I'm emotional about that. So like they decide on this life, right? That the man's going to go work harder at his job, work overtime hours, or hustle to get in an upper level management position that's more demanding. And the wife's going to go more into the nurturing stay at home mom route. And they both sign up for this. But then their experiences are so different that resentment builds. The wife gets really jealous of the man's experience. Oh, you get to have coffee or you get to go to lunch or dinners with your coworkers or your clients, and she's not seeing the pressure that he's under and the time he's missing with the kids. And then he's jealous of her experience that she's with the kids all the time, doesn't have to wake up early necessarily to, put on a suit and tie and go to work or whatever it is, right? Doesn't have to travel, all these things. They can't see each other's experience and witness each other. So when it gets brought up, the wife's like trying to be seen in her experience. I do all the laundry or I'm just overwhelmed, and trying to share with the husband, I'm overwhelmed. The husband's like, well, what do you want me to do? I'm working, I'm overwhelmed too. And you have two overwhelmed people that are both working towards the same goal. They're literally both working to the goal of providing for, like, together, they're mutually building a life and a family together. And they're both working towards this same goal. They're just, one is offense and one is defense on the same team, and they can't see each other because they're not opening their brains to see the other one's experience and be like, oh my gosh, it must be so hard to be around kids all day.
You
It,
must be touched out. You must be tired of making mac and cheese. You must be
finding
tired of the
meals,
endless laundry.
you
But
make the meals, the kids don't even like them. You just need to validate. They just want to be seen in their experience, because how do we fall in love with each other? We fall in love with each other by being seen. Like when a couple goes on a date, when we first started dating, and it was like, you're talking about your experience and I'm witnessing that experience, and I'm like, wow, that must have been so hard on you. And I'm all interested in your upbringing or your life up until now. Like, how'd you get to be the person you've become? And then we start dating, we get married, and then we forget to ask each other, like, how's it going over there? Like, how's it going in there, in your inner world? I'm seeing your life. I'm living essentially the other side of the coin of this same life we've built together, but your experience is very, very different than mine. Because one, you're a woman, I'm a man, and we like different things. Our preferences are different, our upbringings are different, and we forget to check in and validate the experience. And then we wonder why we're not in love anymore, because we stopped seeing each other's experience as different, and we started seeing each other's experience as like, you should be grateful, you should be happy. I can't tolerate that it's hard for you. But when you just witness it, so here's how the resentment gets cleared. It's like, let's say we're in that scenario, it's me and you say, I'm tired of being alone and you working such long hours. Like, that could be the case. And then I could turn to you and say, well, what do you want me to do? Because I have all the pressure of bringing in income or working those long hours, right? So I could turn to you and point that directly at you and get defensive, or I can just not personalize your pain, allowing you to just vent about your experience and reminding you, giving you reality checks like, hey, we chose this. This is the best option. Out of all the lives out there, we wanted this one. This is the one we've created. And yeah, it's hard sometimes. Sometimes it sucks. Sometimes it's painful that you don't get to have a career because you're stay at home, you're with the kids, whatever it is. Sometimes it sucks that you don't get to see the kids as much because you're pursuing this career and dream. I see that because I think we forget that whatever life we choose, it always has a downside, you
Mhm.
know? And so we don't let our partners vocalize that downside.
Without personalizing it.
Yes.
Because that's the hardest part is we're building a life together. And so if one of us is like, hey, I don't really like this life, it is hard to not go, what do you mean you don't like this life? Like, and take that really personal, especially if you like the life, right? Or if one of the partners is happy with it and one isn't, it's really hard because it is literally what you're creating. It's like calling someone's baby ugly, right? Like it can be hard to not personalize that. But if you can separate that and go, what about it are you not happy with? Then you can actually get it what can be changed so that you do like your life a little bit more. And that openness, that curiosity, that willingness to truly see your partner is what can allow you to actually like the connection to be there and those conversations to bridge towards each other and release the resentment and actually go after the life that you want.